Hey everybody, it's me April with Astrologer.com, and today I'm here to talk about the transit of the Sun conjunct Uranus, which occurs on Friday, April 14th, 2017. So what's going on is the Sun, which represents our vitality, our sense of individuality, our sense of our self-esteem, is going to meet at the same degree in the same sign as Uranus, which represents having a sense of freedom, innovation, things that seem to happen out of nowhere within a flash, having flashes of insight. Uranus also rules being in touch with things that are out of the box and out of the ordinary and different. So that's Uranus energy. So when the Sun and Uranus meet, they're both going to be at 24 degrees of Aries. So if you were especially born around the 14th of April or around 24 degrees of Aries in like your moon sign or your rising sign, especially, even like fire signs, if you were born in a fellow fire sign that is around 24 degrees of Aries, you will especially feel this transit very, very strongly. So what happens during this transit? How does it affect all of us? And I'll also go through every sign and let you know what area of life that this really unique energy is going to be happening for you and what it may bring to you. But just as a collective, the Sun conjunct Uranus is kind of like a wacky energy. It's a little zany, it's a little kooky, it's a little, it does bring some unexpected things. It can bring unexpected things. Uranus also rules technology, and we're going through a Mercury retrograde right now. Mercury rules communication, and we use technological devices nowadays for communication. So with Uranus ruling the actual like waves, air waves, and waves of like the Wi-Fi, the radio waves, the satellite waves, all the waves, the invisible waves that we use to communicate as well and to control our technological communication devices. With the Sun coming in contact with Uranus, Mercury in retrograde, it's really going to enhance this Mercury retrograde as far as the effects being a little bit crazy and your technology kind of going a little bit out of control. You may see people, well, I've heard of, unfortunately more car accidents happening around this time. As I'm filming this, the Sun is moving closer to Uranus, but it'll be, and so the effects are still felt a few days before the 14th, but on the 14th is when the exact conjunction happens. Yeah, really the theme of the Sun conjunct Uranus is expect the unexpected. And also, I'm finding that a lot of people, a lot of us, especially those of us who are ruled by Uranus, have a very strong Uranus energy in our own charts. Maybe you were born with the Sun conjunct Uranus in a different sign, or maybe like me, Uranus in your first house, or maybe like an Aquarius rising, or an Aquarius sun or moon sign, or you just have a heavy Uranus influence in your chart. You're really especially going to be feeling this transit and feeling like just kind of being a little more out there, to be quite honest, just kind of being more the freedom to be yourself, not wanting to be restrained or restricted. And, it's kind of like being a free spirit that has tattoos, piercings, colored hair, like me, versus being conservative and just totally toned down and completely covered and wearing some traditional uniform or something like that. Your Sun conjunct Uranus energy is totally opposite of the uniform of wearing no makeup, just being bland, being very clean shaven man, very close haircut. Uranian energy is like having a spiky mohawk, or like I mentioned, colored hair, or just being totally different and unique and wanting to break free, wanting to go against societal norms. So anywhere where Uranus, the Sun and Uranus conjunction is transiting in your own chart is where you're going to feel like a little bit more of a rebel. You're going to feel more rebellious and like, I do what I want to do. I just want to do my own thing, and everybody's going in that direction. Well, guess what? I'm going in the opposite. Or everyone expects me to do or be a certain thing. Well, guess what? I'm going to do or be the opposite. It's shock value, because Uranus does rule shocks, and like literally electric shocks. Like, when you accidentally, when you bring some like clothes fresh out of the dryer and you didn't use like a dryer sheet and you get that little static electricity, or if you have carpet and you're like running across the carpet in your socks and then you touch something, bam, you just zap this static electricity. You get shocked, that is Uranian energy. And so the sun is going to be beaming all this Uranian energy down upon us as a collective. So a lot of us, like I said, may feel more rebellious, may feel like, even you may notice people dressing a little differently than normal, quote unquote normal. I've noticed people just being a little more zany and wacky, laughing a lot more, just kind of, being their true selves, not letting anyone restrict their freedom. And as I may have already mentioned as well, Uranus rules sudden events, sudden shocking events happening. So unfortunately, it can cause some things that are like shocking surprises that maybe you didn't expect and maybe you didn't really want in your life. So I have my fingers crossed that nothing crazy happens to anyone out there. But it could be good surprises too, like some sudden revelations of things, because Uranus energy also rules seeing into the future, being a visionary, being someone who can foresee things and foresee them clearly, like looking ahead, being a progressive thinker, having some really brilliant and genius ideas also is Uranus energy. So the sun is really highlighting Uranus, really bringing that energy to all of us right now as a collective. But how is it going to affect us as individuals based on our signs? And when I list these and go over these, this is if your sun is in this sign, your moon is in this sign, or your rising sign, especially the rising sign. The rising sign is the most important, then the sun, and then the moon is third. So let's start with Aries. Aries, okay, so this is happening in your sign, this crazy zany conjunction of a transit. What this means for Aries people is you guys can feel even more inclined towards having the freedom to truly be yourself, because your energy, Aries, is all about the I am. And you guys are very headstrong people. I mean, Aries rules the head. So you guys tend to be very headstrong, very, very strong in your beliefs, very strong in what you stand for. And so Aries people especially may feel extremely extra rebellious with this sun conjunct Uranus energy. So don't be naughty, Aries. Don't be naughty children and just say, you know what, whatever, I do what I want, and like totally go against the rules to where you get yourself into a lot of trouble, especially like in trouble with the law or anything like that, because this is also squaring Pluto in your 10th house, which is like following the rules of like the law. So Aries people, yeah, of course, be careful. Don't be too crazy. Don't be too out there with yourself, but still feeling that freedom of like just freedom to express yourself and just be you. It's a beautiful thing, at least to me. So Aries people, especially the first house rules the body. You guys may feel like dressing differently or suddenly getting a tattoo out of the blue, or getting like a piercing, or changing your clothing style or changing your hairstyle like drastically. I did see a kind of like social media famous Aries moon, and she's been posting on social media that she's got this tattoo all of a sudden with her and her friend. They got twin tattoos, and also like her hair is dyed red, and red is a ruling color. I mean, Aries is associated with the color red because Mars rules you guys. So it's really apparent when you look around. You'll see a lot of your fellow Rams kind of just feeling sassy and free, and like, I just want to be myself, and I'm gonna do something different with my look and with myself. And also the first house rules the overall life path too. So some Aries might just suddenly decide to change their life path, change their career, Just changes that are big, and just you feel like you have this nervous buzz to just do and to change. Aries are going to feel it in any area of life. So best of luck to you guys, Aries, with whatever changes you decide to make. All right, so next up is Taurus. The sun is going to be conjunct Uranus in your 12th house. So the 12th house is a house of like being connected to the unseen, to the known, what is known to you by you, but is hard to explain. Like, for example, spirituality, being connected to the angelic realm, to if you have a religion, like spiritual beliefs that you have, you know, just being connected to the unseen. It's also, you know, a house of like karma. It's also a house of going into seclusion in order to relax and retreat and really go deep within the mind. So for Taurus people, Tauruses may receive actually sudden revelations of information that you find come to you from, it seems like, out of nowhere, especially in your dreams. Tauruses, around this time, pay attention to your dreams, because you may receive actual real messages from maybe loved ones that have passed on, or if you feel like you have like angels or guides, guardian angels, or you know, around you, then they may really be sharp with the messages right now. Your antenna is going to be sharp, because Uranus, when you look at the symbol for Uranus, it looks like an antenna that like, or one of those little space stations that travel around, you know, in outer space. And that's what it rules as well. So your antenna is going to be like do, 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 like in your dreams. So really pay attention to your dreams, Taurus. Also, if you would like to manifest things happening in your life that are good, the sun conjunct Uranus in your 12th house is a really good time to meditate and try to manifest things. And maybe you might have some sudden, like I said, sudden revelations of information of how you can achieve those things that you would like to manifest in your life. Also, this is the house of sleep, and Uranus energy, to be honest, is nervy. It's like, you know, when you slice a wire, like split a wire, and then there's just a raw wire, but if you put them together, it's like, you know, sparks will fly. Uranus energy is like that wire that's been stripped and is raw, and there's electricity buzzing at the end of it. So it can be nervy. So Tauruses, you may have issues sleeping around this conjunction, you know, just a fair warning. So yeah, you may have issues with sleep and relaxing. You may feel really nervy, but remember to pay attention to your dreams and the messages that you may receive even while awake. May be really sharp and intuitive and really on point. So for Gemini, this sun conjunct Uranus transit happens in your 11th house. This is groups, this is friends, this is like-minded people, this is your fellow aliens. This is an energy, it's a house where Uranus is actually the most at home. And, you know, because Uranus rules the 11th sign on the wheel, which is Aquarius. So 11th house, it's at home there. It feels free to be a little different and out of the box. So with you guys, Gemini, this is ruling your friendships and your groups. So you may suddenly make a friend out of nowhere, you know. You may meet somebody like online that you just click with. You may have some sudden revelations regarding your friendships that are already existing in your life. A friend may suddenly appear and pop up from like the past out of nowhere, especially with your ruling planet Mercury being retrograde. I can really see this happening for a lot of Geminis, or just randomly running into somebody that they haven't seen in a long time, you know. So definitely something suddenly going on regarding friends and groups. So you may suddenly decide to join a group or an organization of people that have like causes that are, you know, like-minded to yours, concerns that are like-minded to yours. So that's the changes that can happen for Gemini with the sun conjunct Uranus. So for Cancer, this sun conjunct Uranus transit is happening for you in your 10th house of career. So let me tell you, Cancer. Cancers may suddenly have a promotion, a job promotion, maybe one that they weren't expecting, or maybe one that they went after and then, nothing really happened. And now, with this transit, bing, hey, Cancer, guess what? We decided to promote you. What? Oh my gosh. Or if you are looking for a new job, like a career change, you guys may have something suddenly change within your career. Maybe decide to drop the one that you're in altogether all of a sudden and just go after something new. Or if you are trying to get hired somewhere, in a position to where you are a little bit higher up, in the chain, so to speak, higher up on the ladder, you can suddenly have that happen to you, especially because you guys have Saturn retrograde in your 6th house of work. So this can signify a work opportunity being brought back to you, and then it's like advancement in career with the Sun conjunct Uranus. So hopefully some good news for you Cancers as far as your career. I'm really rooting for you guys. So for Leos, the Sun conjunct Uranus transit is happening in your 9th house. This is the higher mind. So Leo is another sign that may have some sudden insight into things. You may suddenly, come to a realization about something, anything in life, because this has to do with your mind. You guys may suddenly decide to travel somewhere because this is also the house of travel. Long distances especially, I just want to go on a random trip this weekend, a lot of people are off of work and school on the 14th, on Friday, which is the day that this transit comes together exactly. They're off for Good Friday, I believe, and then there's the Easter holiday here in the US. So some people may be just suddenly deciding to go out of town and just suddenly visit family. Some Leos may decide to do that. This can also mean suddenly you just feel like you want to go back to school and just make a decision to do that. This could also mean a sudden insight into a goal that you want to achieve, or maybe even bettering your life path. Because, I always, when I talk about the 9th house, I always mention how the next up is the 10th house of career. But before you get to your career, what do a lot of people do traditionally? They go to school, they are trained in some sort of way, they're educated in some sort of way on the type of career that they want before they get there. So the 9th house is, the step that you take before career. So some of Leos may just suddenly decide to take some more steps towards their long-term goals, their career goals. For Virgo, the Sun in conjunction with Uranus transit is happening in your 8th house. So the 8th house, it is a house that a lot of people are afraid of. Ooh, Sun conjunct Uranus in the 8th. Sudden occurrences. What can this mean? So for some of my Virgos, this can mean a sudden breakthrough as far as your intimate partnerships. Maybe you and a partner have been, trying to work on where you stand in your relationship. You really like each other. You're really feeling each other. But now when the Sun comes here in a conjunction with Uranus, it could be suddenly you guys decide to break down the wall and you invite this person into your world in an more intimate way, like getting to know them on a soul level more deeply. Just stripping everything down. That can mean even literally, wink, wink, deciding to do that suddenly, out of nowhere. You know what? I'm just going to let go of all fears that I have of having an intimate bond with someone, letting them into my personal world, my private world. And finally just, feel comfortable enough to invite them in. Just make a sudden decision to just let them in. Also, this is the house of joint finances. So this can mean joint financial ventures that you have with other people, with a corporation, with a business as well. So maybe you guys suddenly come up with a genius idea for making money. Or this can mean with a partner, like your life partner, your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. And some sudden changes happen with your joint finances together. Hopefully it's good ones, Virgo. I'm crossing my fingers for you guys that it is. But it can be a sudden change, like maybe in a partner's income, like your partner can suddenly get a raise or, get a promotion or something that can boost you guys together in the financial area of life. For Libra, the Sun conjunct Uranus is happening in your 7th house of relationships. Ooh, okay. So Libra, this can mean a few things for you. And you know I keep it 100% real. I give the good and the bad, the storms and the sunshine. Okay, so for some Libras, this can mean a sudden breakthrough within a relationship to where you decide to take things to the next level of commitment, committing to one another. This can mean suddenly you decide to break up with someone also. This can mean sudden breakups. This can also mean suddenly meeting somebody if you're not already in an established relationship. Just meeting someone out of the blue, meeting someone who could be a little different from you, different background. They can be foreign from you, or, you know, just grew up differently, or they can just have a totally different style than you, a different lifestyle than you, and you just meet them and it's like, whoa. And this is happening on a weekend, okay? And like, usually people party and go out and meet people on the weekend days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when this conjunction is really strong and really hot. So some Libras can suddenly, you know, have some hookups go on over the weekend. I'm just being honest. Or yeah, it can just mean like meeting someone. And I think I said already, yeah, suddenly deciding to commit finally in a relationship with someone that you've been getting to know. So yeah, definitely in the relationship department, Libras may get some hopefully pleasant surprises happen. For Scorpio, my fellow Scorpions, this is happening in our 6th house. So we can have some sudden revelations as far as jobs. Like if any Scorpions are looking for a job and you guys have been, you know, putting your resume out there, emailing people or what have you, and you haven't heard anything back, well, this may be the time over the next few days, like a few days before the 14th, a few days after, to where you may suddenly hear from someone, hear back from someone, suddenly get hired or offered a job, which would be really awesome if you guys are looking. Of course, Scorpios, I would be mindful of the fact that Mercury is retrograde. So, and it's retrograde in our 7th house of contractual agreements. So yeah, just be mindful of that. If you are offered a job, make sure that you understand the basis of the job clearly, you know, the agreement of the job and everything. Read all the fine print on, you know, the application or what have you. But yeah, you can suddenly receive some news about a job. Some of my Scorpios may suddenly quit a job with this transit. Just up and quit because you can't take it anymore. Maybe the job isn't really working out for you and you've been suppressing that down and trying to just work through it, but it just finally just suddenly pops, you know, something suddenly just gets like thrown at you like a lightning bolt from Uranus, to where you just say, you know what, that's it, I quit, I'm out of here. So some Scorpios may be going through that. Also, this is health. So I would say my Scorpios, make sure you're taking care of yourself so you don't have any like, you know, sudden things happen to your health that are unfavorable. But it can be a sudden insight into what you can do to, you know, fix a health issue. It can be, you know, suddenly you receive information of, aha, you know, this is the diet that I need to be on in order to feel good about myself. This is like a new, you know, product that I need to incorporate into my daily regime in order to, you know, look and feel more beautiful and healthy. But just be mindful of the fact that Venus is retrograde until the 15th, the day after. So, you know, just be mindful of that energy happening at the same time. And Venus does rule beauty and everything. So, you know, just be careful of the things that you buy. If you decide to buy anything to enhance your health or your beauty or anything like that, your regimes that you perform, you know, to physically feel and look good, Scorpio. But yeah, this can be definitely some sudden changes with health and work on the horizon. So for Sagittarius, the Sun conjunct Uranus transit is happening in your 5th house. So this may not actually be too bad of a thing for Sagittarius, because this is the 5th house of romance and creativity. So you guys may have suddenly some great creative ideas and just be so inspired creatively. I'm excited for you guys because I love the fifth house energy and the sun and Uranus there. I love Uranus energy too. It's just so innovative. So you guys, if you're in a creative field, Sagittarians, you may suddenly like, aha, just be like a mad scientist in a lab, just creating and creating some really cool stuff. This can also, the fifth house is also your house of like your self-expression. And the sun feels at home here. So with Uranus too, this is really like some Sages may decide to really express themselves in the way that they look, their how they're dressing, during this time. But as far as major stuff, major changes that can happen suddenly with this transit, with the fifth house, this is also the house of owning your own business, like that you built from scratch, from the bottom up. So some of you guys may have a sudden thing that happens with your business. Like Uranus also rules the internet. Okay, so you guys, this is a really good time to market and advertise yourself, your own business on the internet, and just feel very confident about what you put out there on the airwaves, so to speak, on the, the internet waves, internet land, because Uranus connects you to big groups of people. So Sagittarius, it may bring some, really big sudden changes there. But also this is your children. This is, the house of fertility. So Sagittarians, if you are not trying to conceive, I would make sure that you take extra precautions around the sun and Uranus conjunction, because this can mean boom, sudden pregnancy out of nowhere. I think with both of my pregnancies, there was one of my pregnancies, there was a Uranus transit to my fifth house. So, and it was unexpected. So yeah, just watch out for that, Sag. But if you are trying to conceive, this can make this suddenly happen for you as well. So changes with children, creativity, and business. Oh, and also romance. You guys can suddenly have a romance or a fling. It's more like the casual, fun romantic energy is the fifth house. So you guys may have a sudden, meeting of someone, or like just a really sudden, like unexpected romantic times for you guys around this conjunction. So for Capricorn, the sun and Uranus conjunction happens in your fourth house of home and family. So I know this can make some of my Cappies a little nervous because you guys are an earth sign, and you like things to be stable and steady, and you really care about your family and your home life remaining stable and steady. So sudden changes with home and family life can be like, ooh, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, some Capricorns may suddenly have to move. I'll just get that out there, just being honest. You may have to suddenly move for some reason. But maybe it may be a good reason, hopefully. Maybe you guys, because we just came off of a full moon in Libra a few days before this transit, and that could have brought like a new career occasion for you, like a new promotion, or something good happening in career. So the sun conjunct Uranus can in your fourth house of home and family can be like, you know what, I got this promotion and I got this awesome new job, and now we can move. I can move. If you're just an individual, single, no family, no kids, you can just move because you want to move to relocate for your job. That can happen for some Capricorns. Maybe it's just something changing within your family. So hopefully it's something good that changes within your family. Maybe you just decide to change some things around your house. Maybe it's drab and dull and boring to you, and you're like, you know what, I just need to change some things. It could be just something as simple as that. But yeah, the major changes can happen with your place of living. You may decide to uproot your family somewhere and move somewhere else. Or yeah, like I said, due to a job, good things that happen, hopefully good things within a job, you guys can move as well. So yeah, home and family life are definitely going to change in some sort of way with this conjunction. So for Aquarius, the sun and Uranus conjunction happens in your third house. This is another house of the mind and the thinking, and you guys are already like really genius, progressive thinkers, out of the box thinkers. You guys are very unique with the things that you come up with and your ideas and stuff. And Uranus is your ruling planet, and it's going into the house of the mind. So this is like really, really excellent time for Aquarians to be like super uber Aquarian, super mad scientist genius, have all these cool ideas come to you for whatever you do in life, whether that is just you and yourself, your appearance, or like a job that you do. You can have some sudden great ideas where they're going to be like, oh my gosh, Aquarius, you're just so like with it right now. You're so on point with all of these ideas you're coming up with at work. So that could be pretty cool for you guys. But since it's the mind as well, just giving you guys a fair warning, this can mean like a little more nervy energy for Aquarians at this time. Your mind can be really buzzing around a lot with ideas, and you could be restless, have a restless mind to where it's difficult to sleep, to be honest. So hopefully that doesn't happen to too many of you guys. But yeah, just sudden ideas. I would say for Aquarians, be very, very careful driving, because this is the third house, which is traveling short distances and driving around like your city, you know, every day. And Uranus and the sun can bring like a sudden something happening. So we don't want it to be anything bad, okay? And especially because Mercury is retrograde also in your fourth house. So just be very careful driving, my Aquarians. But yeah, genius ideas, like you'll have them in a flash around the 14th. So last but not least, Pisces. This Sun and Uranus conjunction happens in your second house of earned income. So Pisces, you guys may, if you are looking for another source of income, whether that be a second job or a different job, another job, or just some changes with your income, you can suddenly have them around the time of this conjunction. You can have, like, if you have been looking for a job, you can maybe land a job and it can like drastically change your finances. And I hope it's for the good, Pisces. And also, I would say to be mindful of, and especially because Mercury's retrograde, be mindful of the fact that you may have some like bills or expenses that are unexpected pop up or come back, like blast from the past. Yay, this bill that I forgot about months ago. Or I always like to mention, you know, sometimes you go to the doctor for a checkup. You may ask the doctor a couple questions, and then all of a sudden you get a bill in the mail because you asked a few questions, and you're like, I paid my copay when I was there. I paid for this visit. Why am I getting a bill? So sudden weird bill stuff may happen. Just a fair warning. But there can be some positive, like sudden changes that happen to where, like I said, you find another way to earn more money. You may have a sudden windfall of money. Maybe you get a bonus at work or something that you were not expecting. Maybe you get an unexpected raise or something like that. So I really hope it's the good financial stuff that happens for my fellow fishies. All right, so that was it for my video on the interpretation of the Sun conjunct Uranus on April 14th, 2017. I really hope that the sudden insights and sudden events that happens are for the better and for the positive for everybody. And yeah, just enjoy this time of just being more yourself. This conjunction is building up as I'm filming this, and yeah, like I'm colored my hair a little more purple, change out my nose ring, you know, just doing different makeup styles. I'm really enjoying the different and unique energy that it's bringing about. I'm getting all these ideas. Creativity is just like popping off all over the place. So I hope you guys are enjoying this energy in a similar way too. Just feeling good and confident about being yourself and being your own true, like unique individual self. Just try to avoid being like too rebellious. Like I said, to where you get yourself in any type of trouble or anything like that, or that you do stuff that's offensive suddenly because you don't think about it. Just try to avoid that stuff. But yeah, definitely enjoy like the wacky, the zany, the laughing more, laughing louder, and just changing some things up in your life. You know, change is good. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that I am on Astrologer.com. I do offer services. I offer readings. Right now we have a special that's continuing in the month of April. It's my birthday month. It's Lada's birthday month. So We're continuing on with the specials for the readings. You order 20-minute reading with me, you get 10 minutes free. So it's like 30 minutes for the price of 20. And also if you order a 30-minute reading at its regular price, you get a free follow-up question along with your reading. Also, you can book Skype readings with me. I am available on Skype for up to an hour. You know, an hour can go by and I give a lot of great details in depth with your charts. So also, if you want to look ahead, because Uranus energy is all about looking ahead into the future. If you want to look ahead 6 months from now, 12 months from now, what's going on during that time period, I offer transit readings as well. So yeah, just go to my readers page on astrologer.com. There should be a little button up there somewhere, or below this video will be the link. Okay, so take care of yourselves, enjoy the zany, kooky Uranus energy, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. Bye.